My name is Mike. I help out with a lot of things at Havergal, including the pollinator garden here. And so I just want to give you a quick rundown of what we'll be doing. So again, welcome to the pollinator garden. If this is your first year around, then you might not have been here. In previous years, everything that you saw behind you was just grass. And now, as you can see, there is a dynamic range of heights and flowers. And if you look real close, you see all the pollinators. So I am standing up right against the ivy here on the wall, and you can see that in the main space there's sort of 3 rows. They're a little bit hard to make out. It is September here, but we're going to try not to step on any of the plots. And then the paths are in between. We're getting better at marking them. This is A row, then we've got B row next over, and then we've got C row, which is a little closer to the little beehive area over there. C is the shortest, B is the second shortest, and A goes the longest way. Just out of note, we got some Jerusalem artichoke behind us. September is the perfect time for them. Sunflower derivative, edible roots, quite delicious roots that you got to cook up. Different flowers might still be flowering, maybe even fall for goldenrod, for example. Goldenrod are these big, showy branches, and the flowers are quite big, and then they turn into big little puffy seeding stems. All the insects right now, for example, love these and any flowers because there's not a ton around for them to eat. So these are very important, especially goldenrod, very important for pollinators. We want you to do 3 things this year at different seasons and come through the garden. The first thing in the fall, when school is starting, is to actually gather some seeds. You're gonna, if you've never done it before, you're gonna try to figure out what seeds are in here, what they look like, and then also identify them. It's gonna be tricky. You're not gonna be perfect, but the name of the game here isn't perfection. It's trying to learn and build a relationship with different plants, as well as just seed identification. So that's the first thing. That's happening in October, November, as winter is creeping in and all the seeds are ready to be harvested. After we come back from winter break in January, we're going to try starting to plant some of these seeds that you've collected. Not all of them are going to get planted. We're going to have an extra sort of seed library if people are interested in managing that. We might also even try to sell some of those seeds as a fundraiser for different nonprofits around the city. I know a lot of Indigenous nonprofits and Indigenous youth groups that could use that cash. And then we're going to start growing them and planting them. And folks, yourselves, are going to be responsible for looking after these seedlings as they're growing. So all seeds germinate in different ways. That means they start growing in different ways based on different conditions. Some of them need to be cold stratified, meaning they need to get cold before they actually grow. Some of them need to be hit or like abrased on the outdoor surface, like they were tumbling in the wind. So it's normally simulating natural conditions. If you've never dealt with seeds, you've never dealt with pollinator plants, they can look like all kinds of things. So, you know what leaves look like generally. Green-ish, long-ish, big-ish, catching sun. Seeds don't have the same kind of look and feel. They can be wildly different. Hopefully in class you'll talk about everything from mango seeds, right, which are huge, the size of my fist, need a lot of energy and big seeds to like pop up, to tobacco seeds, which are tiny little specks, or poppy seeds, which are just these tiny little specks that have a little bit of nutrients, and then they're just enough to get started real quick. Every seed has its own feel, flavor, profile. Let me introduce you to one here that I know quite well. So this is dock. It's curly dock. And we can see it here that it looks real different, right? It's not green anymore, it's brown. But dock serves a lot of functions, including having these seeds, which are edible if they're boiled. You need to take out a bunch of the oxalic acid, oxalates, and then grind it into a powder. These are eaten in different parts of the world, often with yogurt, so that the oxalic acid actually binds to the proteins. And just a note about edible things, you just don't want to mess around if you don't know, right? But feel free to ask and you can build a relationship with any plant that you want. So these are seeds, and you know because when you pull on them, they kind of come off into your hand, and you can see rolling around that these are seeds. Now you might not know what they are, but that's where in the app that you're going to download on your phone, you're able to take a picture of seeds and flowers, and that'll give you a really good sense of what it is. There might be different options. You want to write those down. I'll show you another one here, and it's actually these things with this bizarre little top, like this tuft. And inside of it, there's all these little fuzzy seeds. Once again you start messing around and you touch stuff, this is actually a carrot derivative, Queen Anne's lace. And the seeds taste like pepper. Again, don't put things in your mouth unless you know what they are. But Queen Anne's lace can be used as a spice. Again, it's carrot derivatives, and the root is edible. It's not very tasty. Once you take photos of this, this will quickly be identified on your app and show you what kind of plant it is. You'd collect some seeds, put them in your bag, make sure you write your name, your date on it. We want to make sure the information around seeds is really well known when you harvested, so you don't pick up a bag 10 years later and think that they're going to grow and they're not. Columbine have these little channels on top in the dead flowers. You can see that they're brown. If you shake it, they shake and like rattles, and they're kind of fragile. If you mess them around too much, they're going to break and open and then release a bunch of little seeds. Seeds can be tiny. Again, seeds can be big. They can be fuzzy. They can be spiky. They can be different sizes. That's where we want you to try your best to look around this garden in a place and look down at the ground. Try to find things that you might not have seen before. Things that aren't the most obvious color in here. The big things that are popping, that are bright. For example, this plant, which turns bright red, has these beautiful red leaves and then these particular seed pods. But your app is going to tell you 100% what this is. It's really obvious. Ones that are less obvious are down at the ground. Maybe these ones down here. You'll notice again, lots of flowers at the end of the plants. Lots of seeds at the end of the plants. Seeds are just flowers that are now in the next stage of reproduction. As you're moving through, we really want to try to get as many of the native pollinators. Some of them are really small. And so again, don't just go for the big, wowy, showy ones. Please do look around. And if you're not 100% sure, again, ask. But seed identification is extremely hard at a high level. And so your teachers, even myself, I wouldn't be able to differentiate, for example, species of columbine. We know that there's columbine in here, but do we know if it's this species, subspecies versus this one or this varietal? It gets complicated. That's not really the point. We want to get as close as we can to identification. And we want to share the love here. We want to spread these out and bring seeds back in through seedlings and replant them in the garden. So I hope that gives you a bit of a rundown. You're finding a place, you're looking around, you're looking down at the ground, up on the stalks of all of these plants around here. Some of them are going to be really easy and straightforward, like raspberries, strawberries. Other ones might be much, much harder. So do what you can, and again, try to find these seeds from all the different kinds of plants that we've brought in here. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope that you have a bunch of fun while you're doing this. So we'll see you soon.